Finally, we are going to speak about the best overall hero in the game. It's pretty interesting because, in my opinion, that hero actually works with every single hero pair, which is quite strong in open field, right? So, if you want to decide where you want to invest your legendary tokens, watch this guide because we're gonna discuss war pets, we're gonna discuss artifacts, and of course, hero pairs for that hero, right? Of course, I'm speaking about Moose Young, right? Moose Young have been one of the best heroes in the Call of Dragons since she came out, and I will try my best to explain all the information and the reason why she is so good, right? First of all, let's speak about skills because it's important for us to know the skills and the synergies which makes this hero so good. First of all, we have a Demon Tamer Fan. Basically, this is a skill damage factor skill which deals damage to 2 nearby enemies. Of course, second target will get 40% less damage, but the most important stuff without like damage is of course healing received reduction 20%, right? Why it's so important? This is the only hero in the game which has a healing received reduction, and honestly, in my opinion, healing is OP, especially in PvP. So imagine it's like a first hero who is the counter for Magrot and Zyda, right? And Magrot and Zyda have been the most popular archer hero pair in the game and basically the merit farmer. So finally, Call of Dragons has a healing received reduction debuff, which will be really helpful in the PvP open field, right? It's pretty good skill. Try to get it 5 level at first and then unlock other skills. The second skill is Miracle Cure, which is the passive skill, and as I have mentioned, healing is great, right? Healing is OP in open field, and we are receiving healing factor 100 on a maximum level, and also she heals 3 surrounding friendly legions once, right? So once is 150, and heals her own legion every second for 3 seconds. So basically, for 3 seconds you are getting healed 150, and for the 3 nearby friendly legions you are getting 100 for each of them once, right? So basically, you are pure healer. Great skill, great debuff, which is healing reduction, and also great buff, which we are getting from healing, right? And if you have not seen how good healing it is in the open field, try it and you will be really surprised how much merits you are going to get with healing in your lineup, right? The third skill is the Food of the Medicine, generally buffing attribute skill. Healing granted bonus 10%, Legion defense 10%, and Legion attack 20%. 20% looks nice, but still I think even some defensive stats on a healing hero is quite good, right? The fourth skill, which I think is the most OP skill of Moose Young kit, Field Surgery. Whenever the Legion grants healing, it gains 1 stack of Healer's Mark. Each stack increases damage dealt by 6% for 5 seconds. Maximum is 3 stacks. This effect can be triggered once per second. This is absolutely amazing. This is like one of the best damage increasing skills in the game while we have a lot of healing. I'm pretty sure it won't gonna be a problem for us to proc the healing from this. And yeah, 6% per stack for 5 seconds, maximum 3 stacks. Yeah, GG's. That's pretty good, right? Awakening skill is also nice. Whenever the Legion launches a normal attack, it gains an additional 50 rage and gains skin. Attack plus 50% for 3 seconds. It can be triggered once every 10 seconds. 50 rage and 50% attack increase is really good. So the skill set is really easy to understand. You are actually also dealing damage with the Moose Young. You are healing, you are applying debuff. I'm pretty positive this is one of the best heroes we have in the game, which can be played with almost everything, right? So because she has so many hero pairs, I will try my best to explain hero pairs by the troop types, right? So first hero pair and first troop type which we're gonna mention, which might be the best one for Moose Young, is of course mages, right? Mages, in particular to Celestials. Of course, Celestials are better version of mages. So first hero pair, if you are League of Order player, would be Moose Young with Thea, right? Moose Young with Thea. Let's go and let's check. Thea, of course, why she's good, survivability, like buffs, debuffs, a lot of buffs if you are using flying units. That's why I mentioned Celestials. And I think if you are League of Order player, if you're gonna have Musyang and Thea, you might have one of the best merit getter hero pairs in the game, which basically never dies. The amount of heals and amount of shields you are getting, and the amount of like tankiness you are getting whenever you are using this hero pair is just too much, right? Of course, we're gonna speak about the artifacts for this hero pair. Basically, there is one based artifact for Musyang and Thea, and that's of course Visage of the Sanctums, basically the best flying hero or unit artifact in the game. Flying unit defense, legion attack, consecutively grants 3 boon shields for a selected friendly legions. Shield factor with this, grants 1 stack of the judgment whenever while they grant a shield to any friendly legion, marks 10 stack, and then you are dealing damage whenever the shield is broken, right? This artifact will give you enough time for you to deal damage, plus the buffs from Thea, plus the healing from the Musyang. Basically, the idea of this hero pair will be to just stay alive as long as possible, and that's how you are getting merits, right? Of course, if you are tier 5 player, it helps because you will have a lot of damage from Celestials because they are tier 5, and that will be enough for this hero pair to actually be damage dealing and plus tanky, right? For the war pets for that hero pair for Musyang and Thea with Celestials, I would say there is like 3 choices. Maybe 2. For example, Sapphire Frederick for more damage would be nice. Of course, Sapphire is one of the best damage dealing mage war pets in the game. And the second one, which is quite the new war pet for the mages, that's of course Seraphic Frederick, right? Seraphic Frederick, because we are getting additional boost to our healing. And yeah, as I have mentioned, healing is great. Healing works amazingly well with the Musyang, and it will be able to proc the 4th skill, which gonna increase our damage by the 6% per stack with maximum 3 stacks, right? So if you are going to build the Musyang with Thea, try to get Visage of the Sanctum, try to get Sapphire Frederick or Seraphic Frederick, it will do wonders, right? Unfortunately, right now I'm in the home kingdom where there is no fights. If it was our KVK, I would be giving you the reports which would say like on average this hero pair is dealing like making 100k merits if you are tier 4 player, and like 50k merit, like 100k if you are tier 5 and 50k if you are tier 4. Basically, that's amazing, right? That's if you are, of course, League of Order player and you are having Celestials as your flying units, right? Next one would be my, like, infantry. Of course, I'm gonna speak Musyang with infantry heroes, which are pretty interesting. Like, my alliance tried Musyang with infantries and it was actually working fine, right? So, in terms of infantries and Musyang, I would say Georrge and Musyang, Skogul and Musyang will work absolutely fine. Even Danfel and Musyang, right? So, reason why Musyang works even with infantry, well, it's pretty easy to understand. She's giving us the healing and the buffs, which is quite good for the infantry players, such as, like, of course, healing is great, defensive buff is great, more healing, and yeah, nowadays infantry likes to have more damage, and this skill will increase the damage, especially to Georrge or to Skogul, right? Actually, Musyang and Skogul was pretty fun because the hero pair was moving fast and it was pretty tanky because of Musyang heals and some defensive stats, right? So, if you want to try Musyang with infantry, you have a couple of choices. Musyang Georrge, Skogul Musyang, and even Danfel, right? By the way, since the Garwood got changed, then we don't have the Garrison skill here, and we have HP buff, which is 10%. I'm pretty sure Musyang with Garwood will be also really valuable choice, because if Garwood and Eliana is good, well, Musyang is way better than Eliana, right? So Garwood and Musyang is also a new hero pair which just got created because of the changes to the Garwood, right? Yeah, that's quite it for the infantry hero pairs, but if you are going to get the artifacts for, like, for example, you are running Musyang Georrge or Skogul, right? For the Georrge and Skogul, of course, Spiritbone Torque would be the choice for the artifact, the best artifact for infantry players, in my opinion, in the game, and it's been a while since it's been so good, right? And yeah, for the Georrge or Skullghoul with Musyang, I would go for Spirit Bone Torque, and for the Warped, of course, I would go for the Bruin Bear. Unfortunately, I don't have Bruin Bear, that's why I can't really show. And yeah, Warped would be for sure Bruin Bear or Sand Lizard, right? Sand Lizard is also a great choice because of the heals, which we are getting for the infantry and for the Musyang stacks, right? For the archers, because archers are my main troop type in the game, for the archer hero pairs we have variety of choices where Musyang will be amazing in my opinion, and that's for sure. One of them is of course Magrot and the Musyang, right? Magrot works great with every single healing heroes, but of course my idea would be never break Magrot and Zaida. That's why I will introduce my ideas with Musyang, right? For example, Fulgrim and Musyang works perfectly well. I advised my couple of tier 5 friends to build Fulgrim and Musyang, and they showed me the reports, and reports were pretty promising. Actually, Fulgrim Musyang reports were getting more merits than Fulgrim and Sibyl, which is quite interesting, right? Basically, if Musyang will give the survivability to Fulgrim, and Fulgrim will deal damage, because that's why Fulgrim can be good, right? PvP hero just deals damage. Of course, for the artifacts for that hero pair, the new artifact for the Fulgrim, which is great especially for him, that's of course Iron Tusk, which is nice in my opinion. It deals quite a good amount of damage, especially if it's equipped on Fulgrim, right? For the Warped, well, I would not go for the Barbed Manticore for Fulgrim and Musyang. I would just go for the Sand Lizard, in my opinion. That will work pretty fine, because Barbed Manticore kinda needs to get the defense break to get the highest value. We don't have defense break here with the Fulgrim and Musyang, that's why Sand Lizard can be a nice choice. Also, Snow Peak Rock can be also a good choice, but I think Sand Lizard is amazing, right? One secret hero pair which I'm trying to make, and I'm gonna show you guys whenever it will be available for me to test it, because I'm trying my best to get the Musyang on a proper levels on skills to build it. The Kinara and Musyang, right? Kinara and Musyang. Still, Kinara is one of my favorite heroes in the game. And I'm trying my best to build the most perfect hero pair for Kinara, right? So far I'm using Kinara and Nico, which works perfectly fine, but I want to try in next KVK Kinara with Musyang, with Snow Peak Rock and Rattle Spear. That's why I'm trying my best to build the Musyang, right? That would be the one secret hero pair which I'm going to build, and I'm trying to build right now, right? But we have left one more troop type in the game, and that's of course Cavalry. Of course, even with Cavalry heroes, Musyang has pretty good synergies, right? I would say one obvious choice, I would say best Cavalry hero in the game right now is Urag, which deals the highest amount of damage. And I would say if you're gonna pair Urag and Musyang, Musyang will give Urag the necessary tankiness, which is important for Cavalry heroes, and for the merits and damage, Urag will do its job by himself. Even Musyang will help for some time, but I think that's pretty cool hero pair if you want to try. If you already have Musyang with good levels and you are Cavalry player, try out Urag and Musyang with Cavalry troops. You will get a lot of merits and you will see how much of the tanky you are, right? Of course, for the artifact for this hero pair, there is one obvious choice. That's the Wolf Hole Horn, the best artifact for Urag, but Cavalry troops and Cavalry playstyle is so good that you can actually use every single artifact, which basically deals damage, right? And that's of course Kingslayer, even Solan's Blade, even Spring's Blades, even Lunaris, and even Wolfhorn, right? But for the highest damage, Wolfhorn is great. If you got it, try that hero pair, you will have fun. And for the Warpeds, Blade Manticore should be the choice, or even Sand Lizard, because Sand Lizard and Musyang has a pretty good synergy. Whatever heals in open field is great, right? That's the idea of the hero. Basically, I tried my best to give you my ideas, and the not even ideas. I asked my friends to try the ideas or even their ideas. For example, Stripe have been an amazing player for the Musyang and Thea. Stripe also told me about Musyang and Urab. So Urage, so also that's pretty cool that people are helping, and I'm trying to help them too if I have some good ideas, right? By the way, we have missed one more important topic, which is Musyang, right? If you want to run Musyang as a primary hero, the talents, especially for Musyang and Thea, right? This is the talent tree for Musyang and Thea with Celestials. Of course, we are running the support talent tree because we want to get a lot of heals. The Flock of the Blessing, when your Legion gains buff effect, they also gain healing. And of course, with Thea, you are getting a lot of buffs and you're gonna prog it almost every 10 seconds, right? The second choice, every time your Legion gains buff effect, their HP is increased up to 3%. And of course, PvP talent tree is also great. Army of Valor increases damage dealt by your Legion while in a battle by 1% every 10 seconds. Up to maximum 3, this hero pair will survive for a lot of time, so trust me, you will always have maximum of 3% from Army of Valor, right? As the talent trees for the Musyang as a primary, there will be a lot of cases when you want to have Musyang as a secondary, but if you want to try Musyang with Thea and Celestials, there for sure Mu is primary, and that should be the way to go with the Musyang and Thea and Celestials, right? Of course, like for myself, I'm trying my best to make Musyang on a good level, so I will be able to use her. You can see I'm sending my legendary tokens, which I will invest all of them to this hero. Also, I have VIP dailies, which gives me 1 legendary token per day. Hopefully, I will get level 14 soon, and I will give 2 legendary tokens. That would be amazing. But so far, it is what it is, right? You can see myself. I'm trying my best to make like to invest in Musyang because it will be great. That's the hero which you can use on every single troop type, and that's the most fun about her, right? So it's not only about the guide. I'm telling you what I'm doing myself. If you like the video, as always, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content about this game, right? I hope everybody amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.